Let me begin with a statement that is a true statement, and I hope you all remember it. Muscle knows no age. In other words, whether you're 9 or 90, you can have a strong, fit, healthy body. It's not a bad idea to Google 100-year-old athletes and just have a look at what they're doing, because no one here is actually 100. Muscle knows no age. So whether you're 8 or 80, you can have a strong, fit body. And I believe that it's very important for us to prepare for our latter years. How many people don't do that, and their latter years, unfortunately, are spent in misery?
There is a quiet secret in the mountains and villages of Japan, one that has kept its elders strong, flexible, and remarkably youthful, well into their 90s and even past 100 years. It is not a pill, it is not an expensive program, and it certainly is not found inside the walls of a gym. Instead, it is found in the movements they practice every single day, movements so simple, yet so profound, that Western medicine is only just beginning to understand their true power. When you look at the elders of Okinawa, often called the land of the immortals, you notice something remarkable. Their skin may be lined with age, but their posture is upright, their gait steady, and their minds clear. They rise from the floor with ease, squat to tend to their gardens, and walk long distances without complaint. These are not feats of chance. They are the result of a culture deeply rooted in daily, deliberate movements that prevent stiffness, awaken circulation, and protect the body from the silent decline that so many seniors in the West accept as inevitable. The truth is, your body was designed to renew itself. But in our modern lifestyle, especially after the age of 50, we stop giving it the stimulus it needs to thrive. Muscles stiffen, joints lock, circulation slows, and gradually independence begins to slip away. Yet, what if the very decline so many fear after midlife could be slowed, or even reversed by practicing the same 6 movements Japanese elders have woven into the fabric of their daily lives? Today, I want to take you on a journey. We will uncover these 6 natural restorative movements, explore how they work, why they are so effective for those over 50, and most importantly, how you can bring them into your life starting today. No gym, no equipment, no expensive trainers, just you, your body, and a willingness to move in the way nature intended. Let us begin with the first of these daily movements. One so simple and yet so powerful that it has been described as a reset button for the body. Before we start, drop in the comments from where you are watching this video and what health topic you'd like to see in the next video. As a special thank you for joining us today, we're giving away 100 free copies of my best-selling book to subscribers. So, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment about why you want to win my best-selling book. So yes, how excited was I when I found only 15 minutes? Well, let's have a look at this. It's called high intensity interval training, or often called HIIT training. And the first documented evidence of the HIIT training was probably before the war. Some German trainers were training their athletes in it. The war came, a lot was lost, and then the next time it was documented was a Japanese trainer called Tabata. Now, in many gyms, they still have the Tabata protocol. And he was a trainer for his girls in the Olympic Games, and they were doing figure skating. And he discovered that if they did the HIIT training, they had an edge. So what did he do? So the high intensity, he got his girls to do that for about 20 seconds. The recovery was probably 60 seconds. And the cycle, meaning it's done for a cycle of, would be about 6. So that's 6 cycles of 20 seconds high intensity, 60 seconds recovery. Movement 1, rising and sitting on the floor. In the West, chairs dominate our lives. We sit at tables, we sit in cars, we sit on couches, and as the years pass, we even sleep in higher and softer beds that make standing up an effort. But in Japan, particularly among elders, life still revolves around the floor. Meals are shared sitting cross-legged on tatami mats. Tea is enjoyed on low tables. Rest often comes by reclining on a simple futon laid directly on the ground. And what does this mean for their bodies? It means that every single day, without fail, they practice the art of lowering themselves down to the floor and rising back up again. This movement may seem ordinary, but it is a daily exercise in strength, balance, and flexibility. Every time a Japanese elder lowers themselves to the floor, their legs bend, their core engages, and their joints are gently taken through their natural range of motion. When they rise again, their muscles fire, their balance steadies, and their coordination sharpens. What many in the West consider an inconvenience, the absence of chairs, becomes a built-in system for maintaining independence and vitality. Science has confirmed the power of this humble act. A well-known Brazilian study created what they called the sit-to-rise test, where participants were scored on how easily they could lower themselves to the ground and rise without using their hands. The results were startling. Those who could perform this movement with ease lived longer, healthier lives. Those who struggled had a significantly higher risk of early death. Why? Because this one movement reflects overall strength, balance, flexibility, and cardiovascular health. For those over 50, practicing this movement is not just about sitting on the floor, it is about reclaiming the natural birthright of mobility. It prevents the stiffness that locks hips, the weakness that robs legs of power, and the imbalance that leads to falls. Picture a Japanese grandmother serving tea. She kneels gracefully, pours with steady hands, then rises without effort. This is not a performance, it is the result of a lifetime of daily floor living. And so, when you bring this into your life, beginning with lowering yourself gently, perhaps with support at first, you are joining in a tradition that has kept Japanese elders strong for centuries. It is the simplest of gyms, and it is found right in your living room. But this is only the beginning, because once you can sit and rise, the next movement the Japanese practice daily takes that strength and teaches the body something even more essential: balance. Most of the HIIT training experiments have been done on an exercise bike. So if someone's a little unsteady on their feet, their ankles, their knees, their hips not working well, the exercise bike, they're able to hold on, they can go as fast as they can, and then they do the recovery time. So what is the high intensity? It's running for your life. It's going for as hard and as fast as you can, whether that be swimming, whether that be running up hills. When I was in Mount Isa is near the top of Australia, right in the middle, and there's a lot of mining there. So they've got these hills that basically look like that. And I think it's all the piles of dirt that came out of the mine. So I was there doing, giving some health lectures. So say this is me here. This is about how big I am. So I would walk up them, and by the time I got to there, I was high, and I was experiencing high intensity. And that's not even running. That's just walking. That's almost climbing. It was that steep. And then I'd stop, and I'd have my recovery time. Movement 2, the daily squat. Across Japan, elders can be seen tending to their gardens, washing rice, or even waiting for a train, all while comfortably in a deep squat. In Western culture, squatting is often viewed as an exercise reserved for the gym, loaded with heavy weights. But in Japan, it is a way of life. And this daily squatting habit is one of the greatest reasons their joints remain supple and their legs powerful well into advanced age. The squat is not just about strength, it is about circulation. When you lower your body into a squat, blood rushes into the lower limbs, nourishing tissues and joints that otherwise stiffen with disuse. The hips, knees, and ankles are guided through their full range of motion, keeping cartilage lubricated and ligaments flexible. And unlike the shallow, stiff bending many seniors struggle with, the squat retrains the body to move the way it was designed to move from the ground up, fluid and strong. Science has begun to echo what Japanese elders have shown for centuries. Regular squatting has been linked to improved digestion, as the position gently compresses the abdominal area, stimulating the intestines. It has been shown to support pelvic health, particularly important as the body ages. And perhaps most importantly, it strengthens the very muscles that prevent falls, the thighs, the glutes, the calves, and the core. For those over 50, this is more than exercise. It is protection. Falls remain the leading cause of injury among seniors in the West. Yet in the rural gardens of Japan, you find elders crouched low, pulling weeds, their heels flat, their spines aligned, their balance unwavering. This daily rehearsal of strength and stability is one of the silent secrets of their longevity. If lowering into a deep squat feels impossible at first, know that this is natural. Japanese elders did not achieve this overnight. It is the result of daily practice, year after year. Begin where you are. Even partial squats, holding onto a table for support, awaken the same pathways. Over time, your body remembers, your joints loosen, and what once seemed out of reach becomes second nature. And once this strength is restored, the Japanese elders move naturally into the next daily movement, one that strengthens not only the body, but also the heart and lungs.
When I started to do this, because reading the book, it's such an inspiration to read it. He says, when you start implementing this, we're not going to be able to hold you down because of what it's going to do for your body. So I couldn't wait to try it. Now, when I got to 22nd, I'm running up a hill. My body's actually saying to me, I think that'll do. I get to 25 seconds, my body says, this is getting ridiculous. I get to 30 seconds and if I don't count, I don't get that far because I'll listen to the body that says, yeah, that'll do.
Movement 3, walking with purpose. In Japan, walking is not an afterthought. It is a rhythm that shapes daily life. Whether it is elders strolling through cherry blossom parks, carrying small baskets home from the market, or simply visiting a neighbor, walking is woven into their routines. But notice something about the way they walk. It is not hurried, nor is it sluggish. It is intentional, balanced, upright, steady, with a quiet grace that speaks volumes about their health. Western culture often reduces walking to an exercise, counted in steps and measured in calories. Yet for Japanese elders, walking is life itself. It is how they connect with community, how they engage their senses, and how they keep their bodies youthful. Studies have shown that daily walking, even in modest amounts, can reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, improve memory, and extend lifespan. But in Japan, elders go beyond mere walking. They practice walking with purpose. Their strides are mindful, their pace consistent, and their posture tall. For those over 50, walking may seem like a basic skill, but it is in fact one of the most protective movements you can practice. With each step, circulation is boosted, blood sugar levels are regulated, and joints are lubricated. The gentle swinging of the arms stimulates lymphatic flow, supporting the immune system. And walking outdoors, as Japanese elders often do, provides fresh air, sunlight for vitamin D, and a calming reset for the nervous system. Consider the streets of Okinawa, where it is common to see a group of elders walking together, chatting softly, their movements steady and coordinated. This is more than physical exercise, it is social nourishment. Loneliness, which plagues many seniors in the West, is a rarity here, and walking serves as both movement and medicine for the mind. Western science confirms this too. Research has found that older adults who walk daily have larger brain volumes and lower rates of dementia. A study from Harvard even found that walking just 21 minutes a day reduces heart disease risk by 30%. Yet, while many in the West aim for these numbers as a target, Japanese elders achieve them simply by weaving walking into their daily living. If you are over 50, walking with purpose, upright, steady, aware, can transform your health. It strengthens bones, improves circulation, clears the mind, and keeps independence intact. But the Japanese elders do not stop here. For them, the next movement works the body in a way walking alone cannot, stretching, lengthening, and awakening flexibility that protects against stiffness.
So what's recovery time? Well, the research shows that the best recovery time is when you're moving a bit. So what I would do is I'd do my stretches. I can't do much because I'm all wired up. But I would do my stretches. And because all my exercise is being done on my legs, I might do the 10 down and the 10 up and the 10 back.
Movement 4, gentle daily stretching. Step into a Japanese park early in the morning, and you will often find groups of elders moving in unison. Arms sweeping overhead, torsos bending gracefully, legs stretching in calm, deliberate motions. This is not a performance, but a practice called Rajio Taisō, or radio calisthenics, a stretching routine broadcast on national radio since the 1920s. Nearly every Japanese child grows up with it, and for many elders it becomes a lifelong ritual. Stretching, in the Japanese way, is not about forcing the body into extreme positions. It is about awakening the joints, lengthening the muscles, and preparing the body for the day ahead. These gentle stretches increase blood flow, ease stiffness, and maintain the elasticity of tendons and ligaments. For seniors, this is nothing short of vital. Western lifestyles often leave the body hunched, shoulders rounded, hips tight, and spine compressed. Over time, this leads to chronic pain and restricted mobility, but Japanese elders, by stretching daily, counteract these forces. Their backs remain supple, their hips open, and their posture upright. Even simple stretches reaching both arms toward the sky, twisting gently at the waist, or bending forward to touch the toes, restore the natural alignment of the body. Science strongly supports this daily ritual. Stretching improves circulation, which delivers oxygen and nutrients to aging tissues. It reduces the risk of falls by improving balance and flexibility. It even helps regulate the nervous system, calming stress and lowering blood pressure. And for those over 50, stretching is one of the most effective ways to prevent the gradual loss of range of motion that makes daily tasks from tying shoes to reaching for a cupboard so difficult. Picture an elderly man in Tokyo finishing his morning stretches in the park before beginning his walk home. His posture is tall, his movements fluid, his face calm. This daily ritual is not merely about the body, it is about the spirit. The Japanese word genki means lively, healthy, full of energy. Stretching is one of the ways elders cultivate genki each morning, a quiet declaration that life after 50 is not decline, but renewal. And once the body has been stretched and opened, the Japanese turn to a movement that strengthens not just muscles, but also one of the most important systems in aging, balance.
And notice how children run. Have you noticed how children run? They always run on the ball of their feet. I read a book called Born to Run by Christopher McDougall. He's a runner and he was getting lower back, pelvic and hamstring problems. So he took 6 months off work and decided to investigate worldwide different runners. He wanted to know why he was suffering with hamstring and lower back. And you'll notice that most joggers are padded to encourage heel striking. Have you noticed that? And yet we should be toe striking. So he went to the history books and he found in 1960 and 1964 Bibi Bikila, an African runner, took home gold, both sets of Olympic Games, and he was a barefoot runner. He also investigated other barefoot runners. You run barefoot on the grass, you will never strike with your heel. And what Christopher McDougall does, he goes into the anatomy of the foot, which is very interesting. You see, the foot's been designed to strike on the toe. When you strike on the toe, it strengthens the arch, and the ball of the foot has a cushioning effect, and the toes spread out to sort of take the fall. But when you strike with your heel, none of that happens. And he discovered that it is heel striking that's causing the hamstring, the pelvic, and the lower back problems. Isn't that interesting?
Movement 5. Heel to toe. Balance practice. If strength keeps you moving, balance keeps you safe. And in Japan, elders practice balance daily, not through elaborate equipment, but through simple, deliberate movements like walking heel to toe, standing on one leg, or practicing Tai Chi-like exercises in their homes and parks. Falls are one of the greatest dangers for seniors in the West. A single fall can fracture a hip, leading to a cascade of health decline. But in Japan, where elders often live independently well into their 90s, balance is preserved with daily attention. Heel-to-toe walking, placing one foot directly in front of the other, as if walking on a tightrope trains the inner ear, the nervous system, and the stabilizing muscles of the legs and core. Science validates this ancient wisdom. Balance exercises strengthen neural pathways in the brain, keeping reflexes sharp and reaction times quick. They also reduce the risk of fractures, improve posture, and even enhance confidence. After all, when you know your body can balance, you move through the world with less fear and more freedom. In rural Japan, you often see elders carrying small baskets of vegetables down uneven paths, their bodies steady, their steps measured. This is balance in action. It is not trained in a clinic or a gym, but in the daily practice of moving with awareness. For those over 50, incorporating even a few minutes of heel-to-toe walking or standing on one leg while brushing your teeth can make the difference between frailty and resilience. This is the wisdom of Japanese movement: prevention, not repair. And just when you think the list is complete, there is one more daily practice, perhaps the most overlooked, yet the most essential for keeping the body supple and strong long into old age. Movement. 6. Bending and reaching. In Japanese homes, cupboards are low, futons are rolled out on the floor, and items are stored in high shelves as well. This design is not accidental. It means that elders are constantly bending down, reaching up, and twisting gently through their spine. In the West, many daily conveniences eliminate this need. We place everything at waist height, use recliners, and design kitchens to minimize effort. While convenient, it robs the body of essential movement. For Japanese elders, bending to roll out bedding, reaching up to place bowls on a high shelf, or twisting to sweep the floor is part of daily life. These micro movements keep the spine mobile, the shoulders flexible, and the core engaged. They prevent the rigidity that so often locks the midsection of Western seniors, leading to back pain and limited mobility. Science explains why. The spine is nourished not by blood vessels, but by movement. Each time you bend, twist, or extend, fluid is pushed into the spinal discs, keeping them hydrated and healthy. Reaching overhead improves circulation in the shoulders and arms, while bending down engages the large muscles of the legs and back. For seniors, these movements are protective medicine against stiffness, arthritis, and even falls. Watch a Japanese grandmother sweeping her tatami mat, her body bending rhythmically, her movements graceful and strong. She is not at the gym, but she is training every part of her body for longevity. For those over 50, Simply reintroducing bending and reaching into daily routines, whether by tidying, gardening, or even practicing light household chores, can awaken strength that feels lost but is still waiting beneath the surface. The secret of youthful elders. Now we have walked together through the 6 movements that Japanese elders weave into their daily lives: rising and sitting on the floor, squatting with ease, walking with purpose, stretching gently, practicing balance, and bending and reaching. These are not isolated exercises. They are the fabric of life itself, stitched into the routines of morning, afternoon, and evening. And it is this quiet repetition, day after day, that keeps the Japanese among the longest living people on earth. In the West, we have been taught to fear aging, as though it were a steady decline into frailty. But the elders of Japan remind us of a different story. They show us that the body, even after 50, 60, 70 and beyond, is designed not for deterioration but for renewal, if only we give it the movements it craves. The floor keeps the hips strong. The squat keeps the legs alive. The walk keeps the heart steady. The stretch keeps the joints supple. Balance prevents the fall, and bending keeps the spine youthful. Each of these movements is a message to your body. You are still needed. You are still capable. You are still alive. And the body, hearing this message, responds with strength, with clarity, and with energy. Think of the Japanese grandmother who, at 85, still kneels to serve tea, still tends to her garden, still walks to visit her neighbor. She is not extraordinary. She is simply consistent. The difference between decline and vitality lies not in age, but in daily choices. And here is the hope I want to leave with you. It is never too late. Whether you are 50, 60, or 80, your body responds to movement. Begin where you are. If lowering to the floor feels impossible, start with a chair. If squatting feels beyond reach, hold on to a table. If walking seems tiring, take just 5 minutes a day. These small beginnings, repeated, will awaken pathways long asleep. Science agrees muscles can be strengthened at any age. Joints can regain mobility. Balance can be retrained. Even the brain itself, once thought to decline inevitably, can grow new connections with movement. Your future is not fixed, it is flexible, like your body when given the chance. So, as you rise tomorrow morning, remember the elders of Japan. Remember the secret that has carried them through decades of life with strength and dignity. Begin with one movement. Rise and sit. Stretch your arms to the sky. Take a purposeful walk. These are not exercises, they are declarations of life. And as you weave them into your own days, you may just find that your body too begins to feel lighter, steadier, more alive than it has in years. Because the truth is, vitality is not found in gyms or in pills. It is found in the small, faithful movements of daily living. And these 6, practiced with intention, can carry you not only into longer years, but into better ones. This is the gift of the Japanese elders, and it is a gift waiting for you.
If this video helped you understand how to do that, please give it a thumbs up. It truly helps others find this important information. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay informed, stay healthy.